What do I think what do I think is the most important thing that Canadians and Americans share is a collection of dorky accents.
About.
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 A boot.
About.
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 A boot.
That's what it's about.
Eh? Skookum means brawny and tough and big.
Skookum. As far as I know, skookum means like sweet, like perfect, like, you know, like nicely done. Skookum, like good job.
Skookum means like really far out good.
Skookum means like big, radical, awesome, supreme.
Oh, I should know that.
I'm not good at it.
Oh, what does skookum mean? I've heard it, but no, I don't remember what it means.
I don't know.
Eh?
Americans, we're just off the wall a lot of times, and Canadians, it takes a little while to get to know Canadians versus Americans. That's my opinion anyway.
I think within the American sort of unconscious, there's this understanding that, or this belief that America is the center of the world. And so as a result, there's just more energy than the States, and people are more, they sort of have to represent that in a way. Whereas Canadians, I think, unconsciously try and kind of dampen themselves down, and I think that that's become sort of part of our culture. It's this reactionary thing where, for some reason, part of our culture is to not be Americans, which I think is kind of lame.
My stereotypical idea of an American is Cowboy Bill coming up from Colorado, you know, trying to start an amusement park. No, I don't know. That and that they're totally gung-ho to do everything perfect, and that, you know, they're not really going to take any crap.
We are labeled here as Americans, I feel. I have been referred to as, oh, you American.
Americans.
Americans.
Canadian.
And so it's a definite, which I've never experienced before. It's not a prejudice, I don't think, but it's that we are different.
When I came back to Canada, because I'd been down for 4 years, I had a fairly heavy American accent, which I lost, except when I started making speeches, and I had moved back into it. So when I was down in the States, I was called Johnny Canuck, and when I came back here, I was called Hershey Bar.
And in terms of other things about it depends. Like, there are things I don't like about American culture, but when I go to the States, it's a different story. Like, when, you know, the things that I don't like about American culture, I find in Canada as well. They're all over the world, like McDonald's or bad movies or, you know, like the Olsen twins and just stuff like that, right? Like, just mainstream culture, which seems to be predominantly generated from the States. That's probably my number one thing.
My perception of the United States is kind of bad. I don't know. I've never been there, so I can't really say anything bad about it. But just what the media, the Canadian media, has told me, not really told me, but what I've heard from the Canadian media, hasn't really been all that good. So I'm not really going to say that I have a perception on it. I'm just going to say that I'm open to what it's like, or to, you know, if it's bad or good. I just have to go down there and I think experience it for myself.
It was very shocking to me, actually, that I heard things about America from Canadian television that I was kind of appalled at. I was like, what? That isn't America. That isn't how we think. But that's maybe how Canadians perceive America on certain things.
I think there's too little attention to what's going on within the States in terms of economic stuff, and just too much wanting to be the world's babysitter.
I think the Canadian government is actually essentially the same type of a machine. It's just it's a little bit, it's obviously more typically Canadian in that, you know, its mechanisms are concealed, and its rhetoric is a little bit more toned down, and it's is trying to appear as, you know, business as usual, as opposed to taking the current world situation as an opportunity to sort of flex its proverbial muscles and you know, try and be as dominant as possible.
Things I most missed about America were the friendliness of people, much more outgoing, generally speaking.
I think Canadians and Americans can embrace humor together. Lots of humor. Like, we can laugh about a lot of the similar things, and we can laugh at stuff about each other. Like, I say "a," they say "huh." It's funny.
Anyway, I hope Canada stays the way it is. It's beautiful. Ew, ketchup chips taste terrible.
Oh man, Ted, so what seems to be the problem, Ted?
Seems that I'm stuck in this seatbelt.
Can you seriously not get it out?
I don't seem to be able.
Maybe say like "sure, I love it."
Sure, I'd love a ketchup chip.
Let's try that again. Can we try that again one more time? Just say "sure, I'd love a ketchup."
Sure, I'd love a ketchup chip.
Oh!
Eh.